Oh, the NFL is shaking right now. Roger Goodell is refusing to come out of the NFL offices in New York City. He is too busy strategizing. He is putting together a team to figure out how he is going to combat this latest attack on the league. I'm telling you, this could spell the end for the NFL. I know this league seems invincible. They have been able to defeat numerous media attacks over the years. They withstood the wave of criticism when it came to concussions 10 years ago. They made it through Colin Kaepernick and several other players trading in their helmets for a set of knee pads and kneeling for the national anthem. But this latest attack on the NFL, I'm being serious. I think this could be the end. This could be it. Now, some of you may be thinking, he must be talking about the Brian Flores lawsuit. No, no, Brian Flores. The lawsuit, that is the furthest thing on the NFL's mind right now. They are being faced with a much, much bigger threat. Chris Bosh is boycotting the NFL. Yeah, Chris Bosh. Oh, I just don't know how they're going to make it through this. I mean, Chris Bosh is so influential. He's so powerful. What the fuck is this dude thinking? I'm going to show you exactly how deranged Chris Bosh is in just a second. But seriously, I understand everyone has their own opinion. I get all that. But choosing to boycott the NFL because you claim that your kids don't see enough people that look like them on the field? I'm at a loss for words. It is rare that someone says something so stupid that I lose my train of thought. Do I even need to prove that claim wrong? You guys are smart. Hell, you don't even have to be smart to see through this bullshit. You just need a functioning set of eyes. Take a look for yourself. These are Chris Bosh's own words. I want to be able to watch the Super Bowl with my kids, knowing they will see people who look like them on the field and on the sidelines. Clearly, this man has spent too much time with LeBron James and has been blinded by the light. You know the light I'm talking about. The light that blinds all social justice warriors, takes away their ability to see color, makes them see only black and white. That is the only colors that matter to these people. Black, white. Chris Bosh wrote his dissertation for his PhD from Woke U on some site called The Last Chip. It was written on January 31st, the day before Brian Flores filed his lawsuit. The tagline of his dissertation, it's discrimination, plain and simple. This article is so popular, it has been liked 17 times in 4 days and has generated 0 comments. I get more likes and comments in 4 minutes than Chris Bosh has gotten in 4 days. He starts off with the same erroneous claim that everyone in the mainstream media makes. The NFL consists mostly of black players. How come there are so few black head coaches? I gave you the reason for that yesterday, but I'll explain this again. Actually, I'm going to give you an analogy. Let's say that you're a high school principal. The school year ends. You're heading into your summer break. You have 2 or 3 openings for teachers coming up next year. You teach at a mostly black school. Ratio is 70 to 30, 70% black, 30% white. There's one college in your area. It's a mostly white college. 88% white, 12% black. Where is your talent pool? Where are you going to look for potential candidates for teachers? Are you going to look at your graduating seniors in high school or the graduating seniors in college? You already know the answer, but that is similar to what happens in the NFL. The racial makeup of players in the league is absolutely irrelevant. When it comes to coaching candidates, anyway, it doesn't matter. How many NFL players have retired and walked into an NFL head coaching job? None. They rise through the ranks. Mike Vrabel, for example. Mike Vrabel, he retired back in 2010 as a player. Didn't become a head coach until 2018. Not to mention the fact that the majority of NFL head coaches have never played in the league. So Chris Bosh in his dissertation already starts off on the wrong foot. But let's keep going. Chris Bosh claims Brian Flores was loved by his players. For the most part, that is true. Brian Flores is a likable guy. But Chris Bosh, he conveniently leaves out one small detail, one tiny little detail that is important to the perspective of this story. Brian Flores could not get along with his quarterback. There was a difference in opinion when it came to Tua between general manager Chris Grier and ownership and Brian Flores. Ownership and management in Miami, they believe in Tua. Brian Flores thought Tua was shit, and I happen to agree. Tua is trash. The Dolphins are never going to win consistently with him at quarterback. However, unless your name is Bill Belichick, Sean Payton, maybe a Pete Carroll, if you're an NFL coach that can't get along with who management and ownership feel is your franchise quarterback, you are going to be fired. It doesn't matter that you had 2 winning seasons. It doesn't matter that you made the playoffs one of those years. It doesn't matter that you're black either. Put Dan Quinn in the same situation as Brian Flores in Miami, his ass is fired too. Chris Bosh then ponders how the Dolphins could fire Brian Flores, but not fire the general manager, who was also responsible for assembling the roster. Chris Grier, the general manager, he's black too. Now, can you imagine the reaction if the Dolphins had fired 2 black men in the same day? It would be Armageddon against the NFL. The Dolphins had a winning season and fired 2 black men because they didn't make the playoffs. This league is clearly racist. Chris Bosh is clearly uninformed, blind, mentally challenged, or all of the above. It gets even better, though. The stupidity in this dissertation gets even better. Now, don't get me wrong. Chris Bosh will receive his PhD from Woke U for this masterpiece that he wrote, but the rest of us think he's out of his mind. He mentions Dan Campbell in Detroit, how the Lions went 3-13 this year and held on to Dan Campbell. This is after Dan Campbell went 5-11 the year before. The team regressed, but Detroit held on to him because he's in the evil white club. First, just a minor correction, but the Lions went 3-13-1 this year. But second, Dan Campbell wasn't coaching in Detroit in 2020 when they went 5-11. He was the tight ends coach in New Orleans. But don't worry, Chris Bosh. Once you graduate from Woke U, you will realize that you never let facts get in the way of pushing your agenda. So you are well on track to being a woke dumbass. You'll be in great company too. We have another woke dumbass that inserted his baseless opinion on this matter too. He's one of our favorites, Bomani Jones. I guess I shouldn't call Bomani Jones a dumbass. He's actually an intelligent dude until he starts talking about race. Bomani Jones, in his infinite wisdom, has figured out the real problem in the NFL. He has figured out who is to blame, who needs to be targeted. Check it out for yourself.
What changes here, Bo? What has to change? What can change? What won't change?
White people. Like, I just don't know why people try to make this far more complex than it is. What's the problem? White people. Now, not every single individual white person. No. But in the macro and the aggregate, who are the ones that are making these decisions? White people. Who are the ones that won't change their decision making? White people. Who are the ones that only do anything in a different way when it comes to these matters at the threat of litigation? White people. So I need to ask y'all, what is it that can change? Y'all the ones that know these white people. Y'all the ones that be hanging out with these white people. Y'all the ones that know the ones that pretend to be such good people and then make all the same decisions as everybody else. So I don't have that answer there.
What the hell is Dan Le Batard doing? He's just laughing along when Bomani Jones is saying this. I mean, doesn't anyone in the mainstream media have any balls? He should have stopped him in the middle of this bullshit. Instead, he just laughs along. He proudly promotes this clip on social media. Look at me, guys. I'm cool too. Please accept me into Woke U. Can you imagine if Rich Eisen went on NFL Network and said the same thing Bomani Jones said, but said it about black people? Rich Eisen would be immediately fired. But see, it's okay for a black man to call out an entire race. That's okay. That's acceptable. But if the roles are reversed, it's called racism. Just like I told you guys yesterday, Bomani Jones, Chris Bosh, Stephen A. Smith, Jamel Hill, pick a social justice warrior. None of these people ever offer up solutions. I mentioned a possible solution in the Brian Flores video yesterday. It was more solution than any of these people have thought of, but like I said, it's not about fixing the problem. It's not about finding solutions. It's about pushing this agenda that the evil white men in the NFL are conspiring to keep black men out of head coaching jobs. Have you ever noticed they don't ever mention black general managers? You know why? Because 6 NFL teams have a black GM. They don't ever mention black coordinators. Why? 11 NFL teams have black defensive coordinators. This is not about fixing the issue of the lack of black head coaches in the NFL. It's another attempt by the mainstream media to change public perception of the league. I explained all of this in depth in my Brian Flores video yesterday. If you missed it, you can find it in the archives on YouTube. But let me know what you guys think. The powerful and almighty, influential Chris Bosh boycotting the NFL. I'm sure the league is just so worried about this. Also, give me your thoughts on Bomani Jones. Sound off in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys later.